So, how long have you been in Sweden?
We have been here for more than 2 years, two and a
More than
half.
2 years.
Yeah.
Have you worked in India as well?
Yeah, I've been working in India as well and continued here.
How different do you think the work culture in Sweden is when you compare it to the work culture in India?
The first thing I observed is they know very well how to balance it, like the work and the personal life. And then when they say they work for 9 to 5, they really do dedicate time for that 9 to 5 and they do work there. There are some disadvantages also, bit of communication. I have not experienced this much of diversity before in India, so it was all Indians. So when we say something, then we automatically we connect to
Yeah.
them and then we know what they're intending to say or explain it. But then here, like, there is a huge cultural gap and kind of language differences, so it takes time to gel with them, takes time. That rapport will build in some time. So yeah.
Because you're culturally similar, some
Yes,
things are
yes.
obvious and you don't
Yes,
have to say
yes. We
them,
don't have to
basically.
explicitly say that. It's like
Exactly.
unsaid, and we understand that. But here, yeah, like there is some difference. It takes time for us to understand how they uh, work, and then how we have to act according to
Yeah.
their decisions. I mean, it's kind of like it's taking time building the rapport. That's all.
Once
Otherwise,
we build, that
yeah,
continues, and that will engage us.
yeah.
And also, one thing I noticed here is some decisions they take forever
Yes,
to get
yes.
done.
This something which is funny, which I'm not like too much into, is like documentation. When you say something, hey, let's do a document on it, let's have a KT. Array, first you do it, let's see how it's gonna work, and then if it is a standalone like running process in it, like when we know that okay, this process is going to be there for the next years, then it makes to do a document. We have lot of documentation for like initially I was like really, oh my god, why, like I should have really learned documentation before.
Before,
So and they, when they do a documentation, it looks like exactly like a dictionary. It's good and bad as well. It like sometimes it's like too much, and like you said, they don't decide very quickly.
Yeah. They have this consensus mentality, like
Yes,
everyone has to be on board.
same
yes,
page.
yes,
Yeah.
everyone has to be on same
Acceptance,
page, but
acceptance take a lot of time
yes.
and the decision. But that's good sometimes. But at the same time, sometimes we lose the opportunity. I work in a main consultancy background, so waiting sometimes we lose the business, but sometimes it makes
Life easy.
life easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes even if we take a decision on slow, that will continue for a longer time. No, it's not a shorter time. Just take it, launch it, leave it. Not kind of like that. It will take longer time by taking small, slow decisions. Yeah.
In India, I guess it's more like deliver fast.
Deliver fast.
Here, it's more like deliver quality,
Yes,
kind
yes,
of.
the quality is more, and we have like, if you are having vacations, I think we are entitled to take these many vacations. We can take whenever we want. So I see lot of good things also. So yeah, I think it differs from person to person, right? It depends on our experience. For me, it's like almost good.
Do you think you had much better work life balance in India, or do you have it here?
Fortunately, I had that balance everywhere. It depends on the project. It depends on the manager actually. So I
Work
don't
culture.
really say, I can't really
Yeah.
blame any of the countries. So it depends on the manager and the project.
Mine was there. I was working a lot because
Then we got a good balance here.
here I was balancing a lot because I was able to manage his activities and myself as well. That's a very good thing here. But in India, I was not able to concentrate on him because of work pressure. Basically, here the pressure is there, but not after 5.
How long have you been living in Sweden?
It's been 2 years for me.
Okay.
It's mainly the work-life balance that we get here, which we miss back there. So it is like because I have been part of teams back in India where people expect me to work at even 9 o'clock in the night
Yeah.
or 10 o'clock in the night. That is one good thing here, and also working on some latest technologies as well. So those things have been really welcoming and good.
Oh.
So,
So, how long have you been in Sweden?
I have been working since 2014, on and off.
Okay.
From 2019, I have been fully working here.
So, it's been more than 10 years now, I
Yeah.
guess. How different do you think the Swedish work culture is when you compare it to the Indian work culture?
In India, I used to go to office at 9 or 10 o'clock. and work until 8, 9, or sometimes 10 also. But here in Sweden, it's generally a bit eased. In fact, from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, it's pinpoint 5 o'clock. We just close them. Even if it is something urgent, here the managers are not that much pressurizing us. So they think that 9 to 5 is productive. If as long as you are working fine and you are performing, so they won't pressure you much. So that's the thing. And the work life balance is almost really, really great. It's almost perfect, I would say.
As long as you deliver what you're supposed to, you they'll let you be flexible, like even work from
Yeah,
home
even
or
9 to 5.
anything.
Even 9 to 5, it's not pressurized. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you are delivering.
Okay.
But if it is normal kind of work, like, yeah, 9 to 5 is okay. So
Yeah.
after 5, even the managers won't say, don't work after 5. They'll just ping you, are you still working?
Yeah.
Something like that. So that's the kind of thing that I have observed.
Yeah.
I don't know about Europe, but generally speaking, if it is in Sweden,
Mhm.
it's really, really good that 9 to 5 is just stipulated.
Yeah.
After 5 o'clock, even if managers, I mean, even if your manager pings you and says, like, it's almost 5,
Mm.
just go.
Yeah.
Even in office, if he's around, he would say, like, it's already 5, just leave.
Yeah.
He'll tell the colleagues. That's really good.
How long have you been in Sweden?
It's almost 4.5 years, like more than 4.5 years. Yeah, it's actually quite different. When I moved to a local company here, and then I was really not like warned, but I was told like, okay, you should not really work after 5 unless until you are asked to, or you will be paid. Otherwise, you don't have to work.
How's your work-life balance? Do you think you have it better here or in it?
Quite better here. Only thing you miss is your family. I'm actually single, so I'm alone, and the only thing I miss is my family. That's it. Apart from that, it's really, really a good work-life balance you have here, and then my lifestyle and everything. So even the weekdays the main thing is like you get time on weekdays too for yourself or for your own things, because you have the only regular shift. Maybe it's 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, depending on your company timings. But and then you are free for the rest of the
Yeah.
evening, right? So you have time for yourself, and also the weekends.
So you basically can recharge before starting the next day.
Exactly. Even I was working in India, and then I was like, okay, Saturday and Sunday, you don't even remember how they've come and how they're gone. So, Sweden is the first country which is actually where people are happier.
Happiest
Here.
country.
Yeah, exactly. It's the most happiest countries, and people from India, they'll be asking like, okay, I've been listening that Sweden is the most happiest country. What do you guys even do? Then I'm like, okay, talk to me later. So, and that's the main thing, right? And the main aspect here is that you are forced to use your semester.
Yeah.
Unlike India, there you have to, like, I'm not criticizing, but you have to ask for permissions and everything to get holidays and leaves. So, but here it's like you have.
That was actually one of the things that was weird for me when I started working here, but in a good way, because my manager used to ask me like, "Why aren't you going on leave? You have so many days." Imagine getting that question from your manager in
I
India.
had that too, and my manager was actually, Anusha, you're a bad employee. They were like, oh, wait, what? It's just like, I received an email that you have your vacation still left, and you have to apply it and use it before November. So I'm like, okay, is this the way you're going to tell your employee? It's like that. You have to use it at any cost. So, and that's really good, right? It's really actually important for you to recharge and then refresh and then come back to work. You really feel relaxed, and personally, I feel like you'll be more productive too later on, rather than you just keep on continuing it and then you feel like
You don't feel burned out in the end. And I don't know if you heard this, but there's been some articles saying that recently, a few of the CEOs in India, they're saying that the work week should be 70 hours, not 40 instead. How do you feel about it?
that's crazy. Let's skip this question. That's really crazy. I mean, it's like I feel it doesn't matter how many works you're working. It's like how productive you are, and you keep on forcing people to sit for 70 hours or 40 hours, whatever you are actually planning for them to do. And obviously, how can a person, even if they want to work, they're like, oh my god, I'm working like hell.
So how long have you been in Sweden?
Closely 3 years now. Normally, as an Indians, we are workaholic people, right? So we extend our shifts sometimes. But after coming here, it's not like that. So 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock is your login time, and you log out at evening 4:30 or 4 o'clock. After that, no one will ask you what are you doing. So you have a beer, you go out, you watch movie, whatever you do. That's your person space. So these are like a lot of changes I can see. And very important thing is once you become a local employee, you will have a backup who can support you. That's called unions.
Yeah.
So that is very important. So you need to pay some premium like 200, 300 sec per month, and those guys will take care of you. If you lose your job, means for example you are my employer here, they'll say, Pawan, don't come to office from tomorrow, your job is gone. You can raise a complaint to association or a union. They'll come and fight for you. Why are you removing him?
They'll provide you legal support.
Exactly. These are the things, and that is the main means they'll support you.
Yeah.
Like your own so-called lawyers in India, they'll come and they'll support you. First thing. Second thing is if you lose your job and you pay a premium for 1 year and you lose your job on so-called factors, whatever it is, and they will pay you monthly some amount.
A percentage of your salary,
So
like
the
Akasa, you mean?
Akasa, exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll pay you some money. It depends upon how much salary you withdrawn for that 1 year or 2 years time, and they'll pay for 11 months or 12 months sometime. At least like basic salary you will
Yeah.
get.
I think you'll get like 70 or 80% of what you used to earn, or
Exactly.
some
So it
some
depends.
percentage of your previous
Yeah,
salary.
exactly. So here it's not like in India. In India, for us, the basic salary is very less when we compare to other things. But here, the basic salary is more.
Yeah.
Here you have like a benchmark.
Exactly. So here we have a benchmark kind of. So other things are like, you can switch jobs easily. If you come here as a consultant to find a job and to search a job is very difficult. Why? The employer or the organization will think a lot to give you a job offer. If you move here as a local consultant and or a local employee in Sweden, so you can easily switch jobs. How you're switching jobs in India, you can go from a job other job. And the most important one, which I think every techie have to know, you will not have like 3 months or 4 months of notice period. So that is the main important one. Some organizations it will be like what 1 month or 10 days or 1 day. It depends. If you resign today, you are out tomorrow. So
Back in India.
here I'm
Here.
yeah.
For a consultant.
No, for a local employee.
Okay.
Yeah. So it depends. Few organizations they'll have like 1 month notice or 1 day notice. So it depends upon the company to company.
That was kind of interesting for me because I usually assume, because most places here they have a collective agreement, right?
It depends actually from a company to company. What I heard,
Okay.
because so many of my colleagues, right? They'll be like, if they say I'm resigning today, so within 1 month they're out.
Oh.
If you come here as a consultant, that's a different story. They'll lock you for 3 months.
Ah.
So if you resign, then you need to wait for 3 months to switch your job.
I was usually under the assumption that most places here they at least have like 2 to 3 months notice period, because even my workplace they have like a 3 month notice period.
Yeah, even when I was a consultant, I used to have like 3 months notice period.
Okay.
So, but if you're a local guy, no, they can't.
I am a local guy.
Yeah, but again, maybe I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends. Maybe few companies like within 6 months you resign and you're good to go because you will be in a prohibition period.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it depends upon the scenario to scenario. We can't group things together.
That was at least what I knew, because when you're under probation,
Yeah.
that applies. But once you pass your probation and your job gets permanent here, then you are in that safe zone where the notice period is at least 2 to 3
Yeah,
months.
so that's again a different topic to speak. For example, if an organization say that's it, we are removing you, then they will give you like 3 months, 6 months notice. If you resign as your own, then it depends again. For example, few companies I know here, my friends are working in local companies, and they because of these layoffs, they said,
Yeah.
you're out from your company, but they have given them a chance, 3 months, 6 months, or like 1 year sometime. Okay, so max 6 months. I will not do a false information here. Max three to 6 months is a time they'll give for an employee to move out.
And I also heard like some companies, when they laid off, they are seeing like how long their employee worked there, and they're paying. Let's say if an employee has worked for X amount of years,
Yeah.
then they're paying X months of salary for them after laying them off.
Exactly. So that is really advantage for the people who have like more than 20 years of experience. So simply, as I said before, because there is an association behind them, they can't simply remove people here, right? So they have to somehow do the bargaining stuff. And mostly, I think what people like of our age, they'll have what 6 7 years of experience, and they'll get that so-called 7 months of salary, and buy.
Yeah, that's like a cushion to again find a new job. And
Exactly.
but like you said, it's nothing when you compare to a person with 20 years of experience.
Exactly. So, and they're also ready to retire from their job. So it again depends upon person to person. Yeah.
And how do you think the work-life balance and the stress here is when it comes to work?
I don't think so. You'll have a lot of work-life balance, and there won't be any stress until unless you fake your job and you go inside and you don't know anything what to do. Then that will be a problem. Otherwise, it's all good to work here as a local employee. But it is not as easy as in India. There are like so many companies where people will search for your profile and find a job for you. Here it is not like that. You have to do it on your own. Yes, they here also we have like few consultancies which will work for you, but very less when we compare to Indian market.
And it's especially challenging as well for people who comes to study here, because if they come expecting like campus placements, they're going to be so disappointed.
Yes. So this is for the people who are coming here as students. So think twice, not twice. I'll say think 10 times after coming here, because I know people who come here for courses or the regular studies like masters or whatever they want to do. You guys will have really a very tough time, I'd say, in searching job here, because it's same like in India. They'll ask for your experience, and obviously, after you study, you'll not have an experience. But the best thing is, they will give you a job visa called job searching visa, at least for 6 9 months time, I believe. That's called job seeker visa or something after your masters or course. So you will have that time frame. But the problem here is in Sweden, you will not get part-time jobs so easily because of the language barrier, right? So you should know minimum Swedish to work in any small restaurant or any shop or whatever. So finding jobs for freshers is little tough when we compare to India or other European countries.
And also add to that the current situation in the market where a lot of layoffs are happening.
Yeah.
It's even.
Yeah, it's even worse. So, but as I say, it depends upon which technology you're working for. Because as an, I can only comment from IT side. When I speak about IT, it again depends upon which technology you're working. If I have to say SAP, is having like very vast openings. If you open LinkedIn or any other job portals here in Sweden, SAP is on the top. So because they always prefer Indian guys to take that particular roles. But other areas, again, if you want to go into the digital marketing area or any other area, minimum Swedish is what is required. And testing, automate testing, or whatever other kind of jobs, right? So it's like depends on your work experience and the profile you're going for.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your valuable insights.
Take care.